الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about possibility side hustles for those who are students of knowledge. And I'm speaking about those who went through some type of course, whether it's through a university, those who have grasped the Arabic language, those who have studied under a scholar, whether it's through a university or privately, who understand the Arabic language very good. My video is not for brothers or sisters who are beginning in learning. It's for those who have studied Islam for a number of years with some sheikh or through a university or have a degree, so on and so forth. Um, One of the things I have noticed over the years from my own experience, um, giving dawah or working as an imam or having a job, a regular 9 to 5, is that some of the brothers become occupied with their studies, and at times some people are not able to. Um, Sometimes some of us who are occupied with seeking knowledge, when it comes to making money or finances, it's another issue. It's a totally different issue. And for some of us, um, maybe we're in the position where you have studied Islam for many years through a university or so on and so forth, and maybe you're in a position where you don't have a stable job, meaning that maybe you work in the masjid and the money there is not really sufficient for you. So you're looking for another other mediums to put what you learned to service. My videos for these type of individuals. Um, a little bit about myself. I studied Islam for a few years. I have a few videos about where I studied at in Egypt with Sheikh Abdullah D. Badawi, Hafidullah, for a couple of months. And I spent about 2 years in Egypt learning Arabic language. And I spent a few years after coming back studying with a Sheikh who was a doctor from Aswan University for a couple of the years. Who is his doctorate and degree is in Sharia law and Sharia law and Qanun. I have the opportunity to study a lot of subjects with him. So I find over the years, sometimes working in the masjid or working at a 9 to 5, you might not be able to utilize your skills and what you learned. So these are some other options, even if you're working in the masjid also, and you want to look at the other options to utilize the things that you have learned related to the religion. Um, so the first thing I'm going to mention is not for everybody, and everybody might not like it. But the first thing I have noticed is another option for making money, or it's book services, books, translating books, and not just translating books. Because I remember years ago when I first came on the scene, my first book I wrote or translated, I tried to sell it to Dar es Salaam bookstore. Um, the owner was like, "Man, I need a more. Your book don't have enough pages." So I just sat on the book. I translated a book. I translated a number of articles from different moshaykh related to Ramadan, and I sat on the translation for a couple of the years. I translated about in 2013. The last 10 days of Ramadan, I translated these treaty. I made a treaty basically from different scholars about fasting in Ramadan, a concise fiqh on Ramadan. I sat on the translation for a couple of years, taught it in the class, taught it in the masjid actually, and I edited and added things in the translation and edited the translation over the years. Then I decided to publish it, right? So I tried Dar es Salaam bookstore. I didn't like what the brother was saying, and they went to buy the translation. I wasn't trying to sell them the translation. So the next option I found, what it found me is online, selling your book online, meaning that self-publishing. Self-publishing is a good option, and that's through KDP. It's through Amazon. And selling through Amazon, you need to learn of certain tools and certain things. But KDP, selling your books on Amazon platform can be a good money on the side, right? And that's if you have to know what subjects people are looking to buy on the Islamic side on Amazon. Um, so, Amazon formatted is something that you could look up videos online. I would try to add a few links to videos that talk about how to publish, self-publishing on Amazon and other platforms. But Amazon is the number one platform for self-publishing book. To publish a book on Amazon, all you need is to understand about formatting for Amazon. And if you don't know, which I don't know, I hire somebody for a very cheap price to convert my books or convert my book for Amazon. I'm working on my second book now. I almost finished it. It's a translation from Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan, Hafidullah, on Adab al Talab al the etiquette of Talab al and I'm adding a second part to the book related to Ta'alam wa Muta'alimun, about the miseducation in Islam, or the pseudo scholars and their attributes. Right? Sheikh Fawzan Hafidullah have many of his writings and many of his sharh or shuruh in books that he talks about the muta'allim. So I decided to put that in the book related to etiquette seeking knowledge, and the second part of the book will be, inshallah, definitely sada wa nabda, for some of his sayings related to the attributes of the muta'allimun, right? So that will be my next project coming out. And I have some other books I had translated. I just never got the time to do the editing. So for Amazon format, there's other platforms on Amazon. I mean, there's other platforms online for self-publishing, but Amazon is the number one platform. But so to understand about Amazon platform and translating, uh, and some of the ins and outs that I learned. My first book for Amazon was a lot of ins and outs, trials and errors, because edit self-publishing means you have to edit your own book. Um, some problems with self-publishing on Amazon is related to the Arabic scripts, like verses in the Quran, ayat fi Quran. And if you're going to put hadith that are in Arabic, there's going to be problematic for Amazon platform. So the person who is going to format your book needs a little bit know about formatting. I do pay somebody. I use another platform called Fiverr, and alhamdulillah, on Fiverr, there is a Muslim side to Fiverr. So there's a lot of brothers and sisters from Pakistan who's very good with editing, who's very good with Amazon formatting, and I utilize their skills, and they charge very cheap. It's very, very cheap, under $100, maybe under $50, not even 100, under the $50. I pay somebody to format my book for Amazon. Also, I pay the individual to Photoshop the verses, the ayat or ayats fi Quran, in Arabic, with the translation of the verse. But I have somebody edit or format through Photoshop the verses. You got to know what they're doing, right? I have some people I know on Amazon that are very good at it, and I will try my best to put their links to Fiverr in this video. Also, with formatting, with self-publishing and knowing the Amazon format, you pay somebody who knows the Amazon format. You could learn on your own. I do know people on Facebook who learned on their own for self-publishing and formatting for Amazon platform, but I'm not a computer savvy when it comes to that, and it does take a lot of time, and I'd rather pay somebody than me spend the time. So for the self-publishing, also, you're going to need somebody to edit the translation and to edit the book, to edit the English, edit the translation, and edit the English, right? Me personally, I edit my own Arabic translations. I don't pay anybody to edit the translations. I just sit on the translations for a long time. And I go in and out and review the book, review the original text. I just go in and out. I don't rush myself, and I don't use any software because there's no really good software for editing Arabic language related to the Islamic topics, especially words related in fiqh, in aqidah, Islamic terminology. A lot of the editing softwares don't do that. Then I do use Grammarly paid version. Grammarly paid version. It's getting a little expensive, Grammarly, but I pay for a yearly subscription, which I paid before 80. Now it's like over $100. But I do use Grammarly everything. I use Grammarly all across my social media. Grammarly also works also along with Google and Google platform for typing, and all you really need for making your own book is you just need Microsoft Word or the Google version of Words. I use Google Drive, Google version of Words. I use their application, and it's very good. And actually, Grammarly works well with that platform for editing the English, and they have professional editing. But I do use somebody to proofread my work and edit it in English, and that person, it's another problem finding also. But I have found somebody new. I always interview people. Also, I meet them on Fiverr to do the editing in English, and I give them little tests. I do find people from Pakistan, alhamdulillah, a lot of them who know English, who's very accurate in English language. I do utilize some of them, but whoever I get to do my work, I always watch over their work. I don't take their work for granted. Like, like I learned that the hard way. Even when you deal with people who's going to format your book on Amazon, you have to make sure that they do the correct work. So after they give you the work, you just look through it to make sure it's correct, and if it's not correct, you make them correct it. And the best thing about Fiverr is with customer service on Fiverr is excellent. I never have a problem. I have hired other people for other jobs outside of this who didn't complete the work, not into the satisfaction I like, and Fiverr makes sure I get my money back. Fiverr, matter of fact, you paying through Fiverr, right? You're not paying the person straight up. The person's getting paid through Fiverr, so you make the payments through Fiverr, right? I like Fiverr platform. I even use it for my YouTube channel to make intro videos and things like that, right? So Fiverr is a good platform for that, and finding people for that. Also, you find somebody who makes book covers, um, who know how to make book covers for Amazon on platform, and there's other self-publishing platforms that you can use and utilize, so your book or your material could go all across um, the internet. Meaning it could be on many platforms. That's my next move for my second book, inshallah. I'm going to just first do Amazon, because Amazon have the best royalty compared to any other platform for self-publishing. Amazon has the best royalty, meaning making you get the most out of the money from selling your book. My last book that I did, I published it in 2021. I think I made about $400 off the book, I think. But it was a lot of trials and errors for me because I tried like Amazon marketing to book, and it's in the book. Unfortunately, it's because it was Ramadan. Ramadan is yani it's a seasonal book, so that means that people won't be buying that book all year round. Make sure you don't, if you're going to translate it or publish some books, make sure it's not just seasonal. You can have those seasonal books, but make sure it's a topic that people is always going to buy. I noticed on Amazon platform, the number one bookseller on the Islamic side of books on Amazon is books on dua. These are the number one sellers on Amazon, right? for Islamic topics. Islamic books, that's one of the number one sellers on Amazon. Also, with Amazon platform, you can also do ebooks. That's through Kindle books. But I don't recommend to do Kindle books. I did my first book Kindle and paperback. I don't recommend anybody doing Kindle on Amazon because Amazon, the money you make off of Kindle books is half a cent per page that is read. So to make money off of Amazon books, Kindle books, you have to have a lot of pages, right? And they're only paying half a cent a page. Half a cent a page that the Kindle books reader read, you get half a cent. Then the next problem on Kindle books, on Kindle, is that Kindle does have unlimited service for its customers, where they can read your book for free and you're just getting half a cent for each page read. This is real. That's what I'm going to talk about. A half a cent a page. That's for Kindle Unlimited. That's no money in that. It's no money. A half a cent. And then the Kindle book, I do sell them cheaper than the paperback. They don't get a lot of. I don't notice. I didn't get a lot of sales. I didn't get a lot of demands for people to buy it. When I first published the book, I didn't see a lot of sales for the Kindles. I saw a lot of sales for the paperback. And then through the Kindle, out of all the money I made through Amazon from the paperback and the Kindle, maybe $14, $20 altogether, because people were reading the book on Kindle's Unlimited and you're only getting half a cent a page. In this particular book I translated, it was only 55 pages, right? So Kindle books, I wouldn't recommend that you upload your book to Kindle. What you can do is you can upload some things that you written, whatever, that is going to be free. It would be good promotion for your Amazon KDP accounts, right? Kindle, Amazon self-publishing is called KDP. Once you are familiarized with Amazon platform for self-publishing, you should branch out to other online publishers. There's a lot of online publisher. Maybe make a second video and I'll talk about the other platforms which I have not used yet, but I'm about to use. But Amazon have the best royalty. I mean, you will make the most money out of Amazon. So self-publishing is excellent for Amazon platform for brothers who wants to make a little side money who are to level up. The next thing, what type of topics to translate or what to write. I personally think my next move I'm thinking about, it's having your own curriculum, especially if you're somebody who's teaching in the masjid or a community, that you could use Amazon self-publishing to print out or to publish your own books, self-publishing, and you cutting out the middleman, and you can have your own curriculum, and your students could buy it from Amazon. I just don't recommend Kindle books because when people got unlimited service for Kindle, they read your book for basically for free. They pay $14.99 a month for Kindle Unlimited, and you're only going to get paid half a cent per page. My next book I'm planning to publish, I'm not going to make a Kindle, inshallah. I'm not have no plans in making Kindles. And then also the people who format the books for you on Amazon platform, they're going to charge you also for a KDP Kindle book and paperback. They're going to charge you. Amazon have a new service now for its self-publishing where now they have paperback. I'm sorry, hardback. They didn't have hardback in the past. So now they have hardback. In hardback, you just need to have over 75 pages and more, and you can have a hardback version. I do know people who do like hardback books, and there are big sellers on Amazon. I hear a lot of people who make money on Amazon for self-publishing. They like the hardback books, and they do make a little bit more money on the hardback books, and customers do look for hardback books. Um, so KDP, Amazon Self Publishing, is an excellent platform. It doesn't cost you any money to upload books on Amazon self-publishing. This is the best thing. They don't charge you to upload books, but other self-publishing platforms online, some of them charge you to upload the book. Also, other platforms will charge you every time you need to edit the book. Amazon platform, if you need to edit the book, anything, typos, whatever, and go back, you could do it for free. Amazon doesn't ask you to charge you for doing that, right? You just go to um, their platform online. Making an account with Amazon is very simple. Only thing you need is basically your bank account. Amazon self-publishing work through bank to bank, account to account. So you have to have a bank account to work with Amazon self-publishing, and you will link your books to Amazon. You will link your bank information or your debit card through Amazon. Actually, they want your bank information, and it will go directly. You get direct deposits. Amazon do not deposit for book sales. Each sale doesn't go directly to your account. They have like quarterly, every 3 months, I believe. Every 3 months, they will send you the funds to your accounts, and you can look on their platform on how much money you are making or will get in royalties and things like that. So Amazon is a very good platform for self-publishing, and also you could use Fiverr platform to find people to edit, format the book, and making book covers. I do notice on Fiverr, I'm starting to do a little extra homework from the first book I learned, so I could find people who could do good, excellent work for cheaper prices. I do have there is that competition there. If there's a brother who has somebody in their house or somebody they're married to is that know English very well, English teacher, lawyer, journalist like this, they can edit your book for you, the English. All right. Um, Next topic, that for those who are to level out, students of knowledge who learned Islam, have a degree, or have some papers or tazkiyah and know Arabic in and out. There is another platform, another area you could think about, and that is of lawyers. One of my mentors, who's a graduate from Medina, he's an old sheikh. Um, he used to always tell me, don't go to Egypt. He used to tell me, don't study the little schools in Egypt. The sheikh, go to the university, get a degree. But he told me why. He said because you knock out two birds with one stone. You seek ilm for the sake of Allah, and you get your dunya also, meaning your degree is going to help you in your dunya, right? So the sheikh, he told me what he did with his degree with Medina, that he went to NYU and he got a law degree, and he said in the legal aid society in NYU, for example, that they look for Muslims who have their bachelor's or degrees in Islamic sciences. They look for them to help them, assist them in cases where the clients are Muslim and they need information to help their clients. And I give you example. I'm in family court, unfortunately, right now, and I believe a few not a month ago, I believe, I think my lawyer asked me about can Muslims in taking vaccines. That's what he asked me. So I gave him a lot of fatwa that's translated, the different opinions and views related to vaccines. So you do have lawyers, especially those who work for legal aid societies, who do look for individuals who could give them information. So now, me taking that info, you could write some books related to that for lawyers about Islamic jurisprudence. That's another topic that a lot of brothers are not talking about. But if you have a small background in paralegal, which you can take very dirt cheap paralegal courses online, even on Udemy, where you get a little bit information about every legal aspect in America, from family court, criminal court, civil court, court procedures. You don't need to know a lot of things about the law, but you know about procedures and some things about the law in America, if you have a little bit understanding, and you could get that from Udemy for dirt cheap, maybe $20 a course, right? Or a free paralegal program, or paralegal program online that's dirt cheap. Just buy them programs like 2 3 months, not a long time. They're not really expensive. You can find cheap online. Um, those type of paralegal courses will give you some of the basic information on how the procedures and the law is going on in civil court, family court, and criminal court. So that can help you a little bit, so you can gear the style of writing to help maybe assist lawyers. I think that's a book that will sell. I personally think that is a book that will sell on Amazon or any platform online, because you do have lawyers out there who wants to know. So you have to know a little bit about the legal language in America, not too much, but just a little bit, and you get that in the paralegal course, and you could be able to write things in a way that a lawyer will understand about Islamic sciences or fatwa about certain issues, right? Another arena that I thought about, that I see that there is a need for, is no one's really writing anything pertaining to Islamic business, and there's a lot of Muslims. I get these questions every day from Muslims questions about business transactions, especially those in the finance institution. Muslims into finances, Muslims who are accountants, Muslims who are business people. Many of them do ask me questions: is this permissible? Is this lawful? Somebody asked me yesterday, actually. So, all right, I had to go. We had to go look that up for them. People do look for these things. You have Muslims accounting, accountants, Muslims into finances, and they do want to know what are some of the Islamic rulings pertaining to certain type of business transaction. And when you look, there's like a bits and pieces online of different websites that give some of these answers in detail, but they gotta go search it out. No one really wrote these things in the book, right? Or there's a book focusing on that. So I think, like I said, curriculum topics like this is something that is useful. Um, Next, I really think the self publishing is a lucrative opportunity. You have to do your homework and little creative, be creative a little bit to find what topics people are looking for and what's popular. One downside on Amazon is that I do notice with the Islamic side of books, they're very limited. They're not limited no more. Actually, it's not limited, but it seems like some if you're not a popular person online, you might have problems selling your book if you don't have your audience already. That's going to be a little bit problematic. But if you have an audience or know how to find the audience, or someone to find the audience for you, or you do it through paid advertisement, then you should have no problem. If you don't have like an audience, that's going to be a little bit problematic on Facebook, unless I mean on Amazon, unless you have a great topic that people want to buy. And I said the number one seller on the Islamic side of books is a book on Dua. I think it's like 50 or 100 Dua, or Dua from the Quran. It's a book. It's a book on Dua. So it's the number one seller on Amazon Islamic book side. It's the number one seller. It's, Amazon allow you to preview books also. The book ain't too fancy, in my opinion. It's not too fancy, but it's the number one seller on the Islamic side of books. So if you find the right topics that people are looking to buy, and people like it and leave good reviews, if you could get your people who buy to leave reviews, you will definitely be able to sell your product. People do look at the reviews. All right, people do look at the views. You know, so make sure you have good views. Somebody left me some Islamic hater, Muslim hater, left a very bad view on one of my books because I told them off in debate or argument online, and they went from my book because they see they published on my profile, and they left a nasty comment, a nasty review. Never purchased the book, and unfortunately, Amazon allowed people to put these biased comments on people products, and they won't take it off. In the U.S., Amazon in UK and Canada, they don't publish those bad comments. Also, another good thing about Amazon self-publishing is that your book is not just sold in the U.S. All right, so a lot of my books, majority of my books sold in the U.S. and then a lot of my books also sold in Canada. All right, so you have U.S., Canada, UK. But it's hard to get Muslims in UK to buy books on Amazon from the US. You're gonna have a little bit problems unless you're a very popular person, right? And people are gonna buy your books regardless, and you're popular and you travel a lot, then you're gonna have no problem. But you do have that option. Europe, wherever Amazon is at, your book, you can choose what countries you want your books to be um, seen at. And you will see when you get sales in these countries, Amazon will let you know how much royalty, how much your book costs, bro. One thing I didn't like, because when you do Amazon, then you get a IBS, oh not IBS, I'm sorry, looking for this number you get a ISBN number, right? And here's one of my books, all right? So that's good. They do this for free. And some other platforms for self-publishing, you don't do that. You don't. You have to pay for that. Amazon does it for free for you, right? Um, I have seen my book on. I have seen this is one of my books, right? I have seen my book sold in Walmart. I have seen my book. Once you have a ISBN on your book, I seen online Walmart my book. I seen the book online at Barnes and Nobles. Amazon will sell your book also through other companies because Amazon self-publishing. I think I'm trying to think of the name of it. It has another name also. The people who actually publish the book, print out the book. Amazon print out your book. They also sell the book on other platforms. I'm trying to figure out if I'm getting revenue, if I'm making royalties when these books are sold on that platform. Right. Also, once you establish your book online, like through Amazon, and sold online through self-publishing, then after later it's self-published, you could go to other platforms and sell your book. Right? That's the move for my next book, inshallah. That I'm trying to sell it on another platform with different topics. Right? So that's something that you can do. What are good ideas to sell or to write on self-publishing? That's another thing. For example, people who lecture. If you could have somebody transcribe your lectures and then you turn around and edit it, make sure everything is correct, put ayat and Quran, typos, mistakes, slip of the tongue, you correct it. Somebody transcribe it for you. You edit it yourself. You edit the English. You can self-publish that, and you can make a book series. All right, you can make book series. Amazon allow you to have your books sold even by series. If you have a series of book like this, all right. So there's many options for Amazon for self-publishing. But the Islamic side of self-publishing on Amazon, how book sales are, I'm starting to see a lot of people, a lot of brothers now selling on Amazon. I only tried it for this book, but I have another two books already. One of them is almost finished editing. Then I have a third book, inshallah. Then I'm gonna write my own personal book next, right? because this book was compiled book from different mashaykh, like my Sheikh Abduladdin Badawi, Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan, Sheikh Bin Baz, and Sheikh Uthaymeen, right? And I compiled it together, a treaty. And I actually got great reviews for the book on Amazon. Actually, I got great reviews from people. A lot of people also, unfortunately, a lot of brothers and sisters don't like to read. So I noticed that when I make books small and concise, and small, this book is only 55 pages. The people left very good comments, and I market the book for new Muslims, Muslim who've been Muslim for a long time but need to review about Ramadan. And actually, I got great reviews. I got great reviews for this book. But I'm not getting a lot of sales because this is a seasonal book. Ramadan comes once a month. I mean, once a year. So people are, look to buy books on Ramadan during Ramadan or before Ramadan. All right. So my next move is a topic that people will be interested in all around the year. Right. You got to find the topics that the people are looking for. And that's very easy by just looking through Amazon self-publishing books on the Islamic side, and just see which book have the number one sales on the Islamic side. You can see that through Amazon. All right, especially when you hold the account with Amazon. Also, sign up account with Amazon is very important. That you read through all the details. There's a lot of details there, but a lot of the detailed information will help you in how to publish your book, upload the book. Um, Amazon does a lot of great work for you already. Well, if they think that your pages are not the right size, and this is why you need somebody who knows about Amazon formatting, right? Amazon do also have free covers, which I don't like them, or I pay somebody for the covers, right? But they allow you to do, they give you covers, but I don't like them for free. You can utilize that. I know a lot of brothers do sell on Amazon, but to make your books distinguished from other people, um, you have to have a nice cover. You have to have a nice cover. That's to distinguish your book from other people. There's a brother, uh, mashallah, he translated a lot. I see he wrote a new book, and I went to look at the review. I bought the book too. I went to look at his website. The person complained on the review for his book about the book cover. It's like, yeah, why there's not like a glossy book cover? He said, man, that's the guy. The book is good to me. I mean, the content. The guy is complaining about the book cover. Book covers is what that's what attract people to buy the book. The titles and how the cover is. And the first review he got, the guy is complaining about the book cover, why it's matte and not glossy. I was like, wow. It's like, yo, the guy like he liked the book, the content, but he's like, I don't like how the book cover look like. I got the book over here. I'm not gonna say it for this day, but and the guy in the review is complaining about the book cover. So it's very important that you have a nice book cover. Fiverr, you could definitely find professional people who could do it for dirt cheap. Some brothers I know, they charge too much money for book covers. One brother want to charge you almost $200. I told him, I ain't paying you $200. I'm gonna make probably $200 off the book. Why I'm gonna charge you right close to $200 and make me a fancy book cover? I have somebody from Morocco on this Fiverr platform make me a cover for $30, and it's more fancy than what the brother actually offered me. One of our brothers offered me off of Facebook. I'm like, you want $200? I'm like, you crazy? I'm giving you $200 for no cover. And he showed me his styles. It was ugly. It was ugly. I found somebody from Morocco on Fiverr make professional book covers for non-Muslims. I'm like, yo, can you do this for me? They gave me like, yep, I could do it. Tell me what I'm looking for, and they show me demos and all that. Pay this guy like $30. $30. And I go on Fiverr, the key to Fiverr, I make a second video, is you have to make sure the person have a lot of good reviews, a lot of stars, a lot of good reviews. I don't do with newcomers. Newcomers mess up your stuff. That happened to me before. This book right here, I showed you. I let a sister. I told her she had her bachelor in English and journalism and this and that. She jacked up my book. She gave the book back. She edited the book. I'm like, yo, what's all these codes and numbers in the book, man? This stuff was in the book before. She's like, oh, that's the editing software. I'm like, why are you giving me back my book with your editing code software for the English? And then I looked and I'm like, yo, the book got grammar mistakes and I'm showing all of it. I'm like, and you want like $80, like she wanted like $60. I said, Fiverr, man, you better give me back my money. They gave me back my money. At the same time, I had to wait no 2 or 3 days. I'm like, yo, man, this person, they gave me back my money right then and there. And that's what I like about Fiverr is that when you have a dispute, Fiverr is going to be with you before it's with the clients. I mean, with the person working, they with their client, right? That's what I like about Fiverr. One of the brothers I learned about Amazon selling books. I remember we found the sister for him to edit his book, formatted forms for Amazon. She jacked up the book. She jacked up the formatting. And we had to get a meeting and arguing with her and debating why she had to give him back his money. She's like, I'm not giving back your money and this and this and that. And then I learned with Fiverr platform, I don't gotta argue with nobody. I paid somebody to do some marketing for the book for me online on Facebook. So I asked the guy to show me the proof of the marketing. Man, this guy, he took my book. He went to all Islamic groups. He didn't even put it in the post, the book. He went into people's comments on posts and publishing the book. I'm like, yo, you spamming my book. That that's spam on Facebook. Talking about he spread my book in like over 100,000 places on Facebook. I said, show me. He showed me all the links. I go look at the links. This guy's posting my book on comments on people's posts. And man, I'm like, yo, I told Fiverr, yo, man, give me back my money. This guy didn't do the work. I said, yo, he's spamming my book on Facebook. He's spamming my book. And if I post a video trying to sell my book or a picture, Facebook gonna say that's spam because he spammed my book all over in the comments in the groups. He didn't even put the book in the post. He didn't write posts. He put him in the comment sections. Fiverr gave him my money right then and there. I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to wait. And then they ask you every time you uh, have somebody do work for you, they ask you Fiverr on its own. Ask you after you pay the person, were you really happy with them? If you're not really satisfied with them, let us know. But I have 1 or 2 people that they're very trustworthy on Fiverr, and I'll try to add them later on to this video, their links. But just whoever do the work, you have to always go over their work. Some people don't like doing that, but you have to go over their work because I learned the lesson the hard way. I didn't go over their work like I should have. Published the book. Oh man, somebody showed me, yo, you made an ayat. You put the wrong ayat with this translation, or half the ayat he photoshopped it wrong. So half the ayat is missing. So you have to go over. Maybe make another video on how you go over. If this video is popular, it gets more than 100 views, I will show you or talk about how do you organize yourself to publish self-publishing, where when people are editing your work, how to go over these things, right? How to quickly proofread after somebody did your work, how to sit down, and what to start looking for first. Because even for me, I have a method. I have a method. I make sure all the verses Quran, I have them written down. I will go make sure all the ayat is right. Then I will make sure the format, the font is right. Make sure the index is right. The content of the book is very important on Amazon platform. If your content is not correct, you're gonna have problems. But they have other online self-publishing. They make the content page for you, but the person who's going to edit your book for Amazon, that person can make the content section properly for you. The person I work with, right? And then there's a whole bunch of brothers I know, people on Fiverr, who's better than the guy who I'm using right now. right? Who's better than the guy I'm using right now. I found other people, and I make sure I find 3 people at least. So if one of them is not doing the job or he's busy, I have a backup person. And I look at their prices. The price is not too bad. I don't go like over $100. When I self-publishing, I don't go over $100. I do my best. You want to the best way to make the best profit, the less money you pay, you put it into the book. The less money you put it into the book. So that's why I don't pay nobody to edit the translation. I edit my own translation. I had to sit on it for a long time. Like this first book I showed you here, I translated this book in 2013. The last 10 days of the Ramadan. I published the book in 2021. I just sat on it for many years. I taught it. I went through the translation and make sure translation is correct from the Arabic, things like that, and make it smooth out. Then I paid somebody to edit the English. Then I went back and edited their English through Grammarly. And then I go back again and make sure things are there that needs to be there, explanations there need to be there, make sure there's no typo, make sure the Arabic is tight, make sure the Quranic ayats are correct, right? Make sure there's the correct numbers on it. There's a lot of things you do, but there's a list you could do, all right? And then I make sure the phonetics in Arabic to English is there or proper, right? My next book, alhamdulillah, I didn't think I didn't put a lot of the next book. The Sheikh didn't use a lot of verses in Quran, so that's gonna save me time. Alhamdulillah, right? Didn't use a lot of verses in Quran, so it's gonna save me a little bit of time, all right? Um, but then my next book, I'm gonna add something new. So I'm gonna see the guy who's formatting the book. What can he actually do? If this video do well, then I'll make a second video. How you pick the person and how you go over their work and what to look for when you're editing your work to be published online and self-publishing, what you to look for, and what are the other platforms outside of Amazon for self-publishing that you could use, inshallah.